the ninth lecture on the topic Rights in the Indian Constitution. The real test of the rights given by any constitution is in actual implementation. The poor, illiterate, and the deprived section of the society must be able to exercise their rights. Independent organizations like the People's Union for Civil Liberties PUCL or People's Union for Democratic Rights PUDR have been working as a watchdogs against the violation of rights. So there need to be an organization who look after the violation of rights of the poor, illiterate and the deprived section, and that is what NHRC, National Human Rights Commission, is also meant for. So to protect the violation or to protect the rights of the poor, illiterate and deprived section of the people, in this background the government has established in 1993 an institution, the National Human Rights Commission. And what are its composition? The National Human Rights Commission is composed of a former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of India, a former Judge of the Supreme Court, a former Chief Justice of a High Court, and two other members who have knowledge and practical experience in matters relating to human rights. The Commission's functions include inquiry at its own investigation or initiative or on a petition presented to it by a victim into complaint of violation of human rights. A visit to jails to study the condition of inmates, undertaking and promoting research in the field of human rights, etc. The Commission receives complaints in thousands every year. These relate to custodial death, custodial rape, disappearances, police imposition, failure in taking action, indignity to women. Its most significant intervention has been on disappeared youth in Punjab and investigation and trial of Gujarat riots cases where its investigation proved effective. The Commission does not have the power of prosecution. It can merely make recommendation to the government or recommend to the courts to initiate proceedings based on the inquiry that it conducts. So we can see that the NHRC cannot by itself punish the guilty. That is the responsibility of courts. The NHRC is there to make independent and credible inquiry into any case of violation of human rights. The Commission presents its findings and recommendations to the government or intervene in the court on behalf of the victim. It has wide-ranging powers to carry out its inquiry. Like any court, it can summon witness, question any government official, demand any official paper, visit any prison for inspection, or send its own team for on-the-spot inquiry. Any citizen of India can write a letter to this address to complain against the violation of human rights. The next topic we have Directive Principles of State Policy. The Directive Principle of State Policy can be found in Part 4 of the Constitution from Articles 36 to 51. The framers of the Constitution borrowed this idea from the Irish Constitution of 1937, which had copied it from the Spanish Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar described these principles as novel features of the Indian Constitution. The phrase Directive Principles of State Policy denotes the ideals that state should keep in mind while formulating policies and enacting laws. These are the constitutional instructions or recommendations to the state in legislative, executive and administrative matters. The makers of our constitution knew that independent India was going to face many challenges. Foremost among these was the challenge to bring about equality and well being of all citizens. They also brought that certain policy direction was required for handling these problems. At the same time, the constitution did not want future government to be bound by certain policy decision. Therefore, some guidelines were incorporated in the constitution, but they were made legally not enforceable. This means that if a government did not implement a particular guideline, we cannot go to the court asking the court to instruct the government to implement that policy. Thus, these guidelines are non-justiciable, that is, parts of the constitution that cannot be enforced by the judiciary. Those who framed our constitution thought that moral force behind these guidelines would ensure that government would take them seriously. Besides, they expected that people would also hold the government responsible for implementing these directives. So, a separate list of policy guidelines is included in the Constitution. The list of these guidelines is called Directive Principle of State Policy. Now, the next question is what it contains. The chapter on Directive Principle of State Policy lists mainly three things: the goals and objectives that we as a society should adopt. Second, certain rights that individuals should enjoy apart from the fundamental rights, and certain policies that the government should adopt. You may get some idea of the vision of the makers of our constitution by looking at some of the directive principle as we will discuss. The governments from time to time try to give effective to some directive principle of state policy. They passed several zamindari abolition bills, nationalized banks, enacted numerous factory laws, fixed minimum wages, cottage and small industries were promoted, and provisions for reservation for the upliftment of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes were made. Such efforts to give effect to the directive principle of state policy include the right to education, formation of Panchayati Raj institution all over the country, partial right to work under the Employment Guarantee Program, and the midday meal schemes. So these were the certain provisions made under the directive principle of state policy as a guideline to promote the effectiveness of DPSP, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. Based on today's class, there are certain assignment questions for you all. First, what do you mean by DPSP? What are the powers of the NHRC, that is National Human Rights Commission? What is the meaning of the phrase legally enforceable and non-justiciable? What does DPSP contain? Thank you class and have a nice day ahead.